Hey, welcome to piano lesson number 7. Okay, so I had some messages and a guy named Bangady, I think that's how you pronounce it, he was asking how to use the pedal. And then I was like, oh, great, I totally forgot about teaching that part. So, today I'm gonna focus completely just on the piano. How to use the pedals, what they're all about, how they work, how the strings work, what the soundboard is, the pin block, hammers, stuff like that. So I've pretty much opened up my grand piano here. As you can see, it's got all the strings there, have the top up. I took off the thing over there, it's like laying on the ground. Okay, so first thing we're going to learn is basically what everything in the piano is, or at least what you need to know. Okay, so see this wood behind here? Behind the strings. See the wood that goes all across? That's what we call the soundboard. And what that does is it takes all the sound, everything from the piano, and distributes it. So without the soundboard, you don't get a nice rich sound, you get just like a tingy, stringy sound, kind of like a harpsichord, or like I don't know, anything else that just has strings. So the soundboard is one of the most important parts of the piano, actually. Kind of like, I don't know, to me it kind of looks like a basketball court, like the top. It's all shiny and stuff. Anyway, so right here, this is part of the cast iron frame right here. And this supports all the structure of the piano. So right here you can see these are all the strings of the piano, and there's actually 22 tons of tension going on. So that's why you have this frame here. It goes all the way up here and so it comes all the way down to here. So without this, the piano would probably collapse in on itself, I'm thinking. Okay, so now these black things here, you're probably like, what the heck are those? They go all the way down to the end and they get bigger as they go that way, which is louder. These are the big bass strings down here, and they're thick and they have coiled over copper over top of them. At first there's only one, then when you get into this range then it comes two, and then they get thinner and thinner and thinner, and then from there on out there's 3 strings for every note. So every one of these 3 strings sounds the same. It's just to make it so it's as loud as these notes down here. Okay, so these right here are the pins for each string right here. So it's kind of like tightening, you know, a guitar. If you've ever tuned a guitar, the tighter you do it, the higher it's going to go. The more loose you have it tightened, the lower it's going to go, right? So it's the same idea here. This is just felt to stop the sounding of the string. Okay, now these black things that I was talking about before, these are called dampers, and these are really important to the piano, actually. What it does is, let's see if I can get a better angle here. There's some felt. See how the felt digs into the strings right there? Now what that does is when you hit the string, it's going to vibrate back and forth, back and forth, back and forth really fast, and that generates a sound. Right? So what these dampers do is, when you hit the key down, it raises the damper up, away from the string. So if the damper was still on there, you'd get this little kind of a sound, like nothing pretty much. It would probably break the piano if I tried to push down the damper and play a string at the same time, but okay, so we got that. You'll have to excuse me because I'm not exactly a piano technician or anything. I just wanted to give an explanation about this, but yeah, I'm kind of just winging it here. Okay, so as you hit the key, the damper is going to go up, and when that happens, see how the damper is still raised as I'm holding the note down? So as I hold the note down, the damper stays up. And see how it lets the sound keep going, and as soon as I let go, it stops. Okay, so why I'm teaching you about the dampers is because to use the pedals, okay, there's 3 pedals here. This one right here, this is the one we use the most. It's called the damper pedal. So as you push the damper pedal down, watch what happens. All the dampers come up. And when that happens, all the strings are released. So when that happens, when one string vibrates, it sends kind of currents and it actually vibrates other strings that aren't being played but are free to vibrate as they wish. That's called, I think, sympathetic vibration. So it gives the piano that more, see how it sounds more full versus it's the same notes but those other notes are released. So that's how you get the difference in sound quality right there. Okay, so that's the damper pedal. So as you hit the damper pedal, it's going to release the strings. So that's why you get that sustained sound. Okay, and I'll teach you how to use the damper pedal right here. Okay, so this is some sheet music that I'm learning. This is called The First Arabesque. It's by WC right here. Anyway, I just used this one because I just had it on hand because I'm learning it right now. Anyway, you'll see these marks right here, right? Here's all the music. And then underneath you can see this little dip down and then it goes over and then a little V kind of thingy right there. Now what that means is when you see the line coming down, that means they want you to depress the damper pedal, so push it down. As the line goes across, they want you to keep the damper pedal down. And then when you hit this little V thing, it means take it off or change it. So to tell if you need to change it or take it off, what's after that? There's a little space, so that means they want you to take it off completely and then put it down again when you get to this note. So if you're playing this, you'd be holding the damper pedal down by this note, hold it until here, let go, let this note not have anything on it, so don't have any pedals pushed down. Then you put it down here, keep it, and then let go, and then do the same thing over here. Okay, so let's look for another example.